Okay, right. It's been a whole week actually. No, last week we were in the bathroom, so it's been 3 weeks since we started. So a couple of weeks off just to try and get everything in check. And in that time, a couple more things have arrived from different guys. Obviously, we needed a pipe, so we've got 2 lengths of 38mm stainless steel tube from Southern Lakes Engineering, and from Carbotech they just sent the inverse pattern cutter bit, so bearing on the bottom of the cutter blade, on the shank end rather than the top, so we're cutting the positive rather than the negative. Also from Carbotech, the 25mm miter track slots that we're gonna rebate in line with the new Hitachi saw, and we're also going to do that for the router table as well. So we got a 39mm hole saw as well. So we're going to cut 39mm hole saw through our 8 backing blocks that are going to run through the chassis of the bench either side. 38mm pipe's going to slide out from that. Table saw sits on the end. Boom, easy peasy. So I'm just going to get set up and maybe have a quick tidy up and kind of try and get my head back to where we were, and then I reckon we can get into it. Maybe make a pattern for the router cutout. So I was going to make that out of MDF this time because I think that's going to work better for me. It's going to work better. It's smoother, better material. Oh, also one thing I did do during the week, I got outside during the garage. I didn't have the camera, so I wasn't able to film it, but we have put a backing plate in. Then we routed out the Carbotech bench dog. So you just wind that up and booyah, you've got your stop for planing or whatever you want to be doing if you're not clamping, and that's all springed. It's awesome. It's pretty cool. And look, it's fairly tidy. It's tidy enough anyway, eh? Sweet. So let me get set up, and like I said, maybe with the MDF, look at the template for this router piece to cut that out. And I mean, that's real make or break stuff. Like if we fuck that one up, well, you might as well throw away that side of the table because it's going to look like dog shit. So like I say, we'll make the template. I'll probably cut that out using a combo of the new jigsaw and the compound miter saw. Yeah. Okay, I have a quick clean up. I'll come back at you. Sweet. Right. Okay, so right, couple of things from last week to this week. Last week I was finishing off my bathroom, so didn't really have a chance to get into the shed and hook up on this, but we're back here now. It's given a chance for a couple of things to arrive, and then this weekend I really wanted to just hit a couple of key bits that are probably going to get hidden in it. Obviously, we have got the tube, 38mm stainless steel tube, nice and shiny, and from Carbotech we have got the inverse router bit, so we're cutting the other way now. So I want to get the pipes installed. I have pre-cut a whole lot of internal struts for the tube. We're going to work out the height of the new HiKOKI table saw. Oh, can't wait. And then we've got a 39mm hole saw. Plough that into here. Struts will go in. I'm just going to screw them rather than glue and screw, just in case we fuck it up, or we ever change the saw, or there's a problem or whatever. We can just get in there with a right angle drill, unscrew these, move it, shuffle it, do what we have to do, and then reposition them. So I've got 8 of those ready to go. We're only going to drill 6 of them because 2 of them are going to be the stop where the pipe clashes against. But yeah, the inverse router bit. So cutting the pattern. So now we're cutting the positive rather than the negative. So we can cut from the top rather than reverse it. So I have worked out where I want the Craig insert. We're just gonna, I've squared that up against the block, and yeah, centered it up on the dog. So we'll just run around that. Like that. Cool. So now let's make a template for this that's going to sit directly on here. Then the inverse router bit, and then we'll hog out the middle, because obviously we only want to go down the 10 mil out of the 12, so it's only going to leave just a ribbon around it. So the other thing we want to do obviously then is transfer a backing plate to the underside of this, so when we cut out our first strip, which will be the ledge for the table, it's got something to sit on and there's a bit of beef behind it. And then secondly, then we'll go around with this router piece or another one, it won't really matter, and then we'll hog out the middle, because we're going to have to take out all of this, aren't we, around our inside of that. So let's get a couple of things going. I'll start making this template, and I'm just going to cut that out using MDF this time, 12 mil. I think that's going to be, I mean, this one needs to be fairly precision, so so I probably won't film it just in case I fuck it up. But I'm going to cut out the template on a combination of the HiKOKI drop saw and the brand new jigsaw that I love so much. So look, I'm going to go ahead, get that set up, get the template looking like we can clamp on, and then just work out depths, because I think that's probably going to be our next issue, even if we've got 12 mil up here. Looking at this router bit already, I can see that potentially we're maybe going to have to offset it slightly, just so we get up in the cutty zone, because we're going to be cutting, yeah, you know, yeah, I think, you know, I would have been better off with 18 mil MDF there, but I'm sure we can make something work. Stand by, and we'll make something work. Okay, here we go with the struts. So 2 left out to be the stops. I've marked one. Flush these up. drill's got some nuts. Sweet as, that'll work. Repeat that a few more times. See you in a minute. Okay, 2, 4, 5, last one. We'll smash this out. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. We'll set them up through the guts and that should be good to go. Cool, I reckon get them all in on the pipe so they're aligned as one, and then we'll go for parallel. Too easy, eh? Okay, so I recut these, our struts yesterday. Well, I cut some yesterday, but I wasn't happy with them. The pipe was just a little bit too loose in there, eh? So I've recut 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. Marked centre. They're all same height. I've taken the dimensions from the HiKOKI table saw and worked out where I want to be. Rough as, obviously this being the bottom because we've got the top down, so I'm going to be about 60 mils down from the top, so that allows me to build up with the pipe. So now I'm just going to go through, I've got centre on each of these, cut a block where I want to be, offer that up, centre, boom, and then obviously after these are cut, I've got my centre mark here where I want to be. I'm going to line those up, screw them in, no glue, just in case we ever need to move this or saw changes, or it'll be easy to come in with a right angle drill. Three, 6. Okay. And then our 2 stops. Bang, bang. Okay. So those ones actually could be fixed to this side because that's where the pipe's going to clash and stop at that end. Let's drill these out. I really do want to use my drill press for this, but I'm struggling with that 10mm chuck. Horrible. Why would you do such a thing? Anyway, I'll test a couple because this is still too tight. My other one's too loose. Maybe we'll go too tight for a start and then run Zerata around it and see if we can just hoon out like 1mm and see if that works. Anyway, stand by. Yeah, good. So we have cut all of our blocks, marked centre for where we want to be. I ended up drilling these out with a 38mm forcing a bit, and then I ran a 38mm hole saw through it to make it a little bit bigger, and then have just sort of finished each one off by hand. So I think as long as we've got our centres marked, bang bang, I'll put a straight edge through, and that should give me a reference for these, but it's more about where the pipe is actually sitting in them and how it's sliding, I think, than so I think we can go ahead and fix old mate. With just some 20s. Loves it. Cool. We can fix the stop. Okay, this pipe is pretty tight, but I want it tight just because when the saw's on the other end of it, although the battery table saw is pretty lightweight, but once it's cantilevered off the table, I don't want it dropping. So hopefully this should be close enough. Right, well that's a problem already. Okay, general sort of idea. Okay, it's close. Man, I've only just got enough length there, that's good. But yeah, getting the idea? Cool, so I'll just work on opening these up a little bit and we'll get that smooth. Right, jiggled that round a little bit, cut a little bit off him. So, it's sliding. It's a little bit tight, but that's good, eh? That's good. So, we'll make the stop at that end, so as it comes in it clashes on that one, and that will give us plenty. I've got 610 there with a bit to cut off anyway, so oh, that's actually going really good. What changed there? Anyway, cool. Gonna repeat that on the right hand side, and then that's that section done. We'll flip it back over, start working out where these rebates are going to go for the miter tracks. Yeah, I'll quickly do that other side and then we're good to rock. G'day, right, so we're going to cut our stainless steel tube now to fit a square end on one end and then to fit within the unit itself. So let's blaze a square end on this and then we'll mark it out. Look at this beast. Bit of a file. You don't get to use the metal saw that often, but when you do, that thing just destroys it. So if we feed this back in, the pipe guide, it's going good. Right. Now, so that's going to give us just enough that it'll be back off flush with the end. Chat for Mumsy's car. Just destroys it. Quick deburr, run the file around that, throw it back in. We will drill a hole through it, put a bolt so it's going to stop out at the 600 point so it won't hyperextend out, and that's us. Awesome. I'll do that to the other side as well.